Once there was a scientist dedicated to exploring the human psyche and behavior. Her research delved deep into various aspects of motivation and productivity. Through meticulous studies and experiments, she published numerous papers that shed light on how our minds work. However, she stumbled upon a peculiar phenomenon that contradicted conventional wisdom. The less we care about the outcomes, the more likely we are to achieve them. This paradoxical finding intrigued her, prompting a deeper investigation. But what could possibly explain this counterintuitive observation? The answer lies in a concept known as the law of reverse effect. The law of reverse effect, first described by psychologist Aldous Huxley, suggests that the harder we try with the conscious will to do something, the less we shall succeed. This principle raised a profound question. Could the act of not trying actually increase our chances of success? The scientist began to explore this intriguing idea, delving into the complexities of human psychology. What she found was a blend of neuroscience and behavioral science that began to unravel this mystery. At the heart of her research was a simple yet baffling concept. When we stop obsessing over the results, our brain operates differently. Neuroscientific studies have shown that excessive focus on results can trigger stress responses, impairing cognitive function. But what happens in the brain when we let go of this fixation? The answer lies in the shift from a stress-driven state to a more relaxed mode of thinking. This transition allows for greater creativity and problem-solving capabilities, as demonstrated in various brain imaging studies. This shift in brain function is accompanied by a change in our psychological state. When we detach from the outcome, we experience a reduction in performance anxiety. This reduction in anxiety is not just a subjective feeling, but has physiological implications. Lower cortisol levels and reduced activity in the amygdala, regions associated with stress and fear, have been observed in individuals who adopt a more detached attitude towards outcomes. But how does this reduced anxiety translate to better performance or creative breakthroughs? The key lies in the concept of flow, a state of heightened focus and immersion in activities. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, who coined the term, found that flow is more likely to occur when we are not overly concerned with the outcome. This state not only enhances enjoyment but also boosts performance. Intriguingly, the state of flow is not a passive experience but an active one, characterized by a sense of control and mastery over the task. While it might seem contradictory, this sense of control arises not from a conscious effort to dominate the task but from a deep engagement with it. This engagement, free from the distractions of outcome fixation, allows for a more natural and effective interaction with the task at hand. The scientist's research also examined the role of intrinsic motivation in this process. Intrinsic motivation, which is driven by internal rewards like curiosity and satisfaction, plays a crucial role in achieving a state of flow. But how does intrinsic motivation relate to the idea of not caring about results? The answer lies in the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. When we are extrinsically motivated, our focus is on external rewards or outcomes. This focus can create a mental burden, impairing our intrinsic motivation, and thus our ability to engage deeply with the task. On the other hand, when we are intrinsically motivated, we are more absorbed in the activity itself, not the outcome, which aligns with the principles of the law of reverse effect. This understanding of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation brings us back to the curious paradox the scientist observed. By not caring about the outcome, we inadvertently remove the mental barriers that extrinsic motivation imposes, allowing our intrinsic motivation to flourish. This flourishing is not just theoretical, but has been observed in various experimental settings. But what about situations where outcomes do matter, like in competitive sports or high-stakes business decisions? The scientist found that even in these scenarios, the principle holds true. Studies in sports psychology, for example, have shown that athletes perform best when they focus on the process rather than the outcome. This focus on the process, termed process orientation, is contrasted with outcome orientation. Process orientation emphasizes the execution of actions and strategies, while outcome orientation focuses on the final result. Research has demonstrated that athletes with a process orientation are more likely to experience flow and consequently higher levels of performance. The scientists' exploration into this paradoxical realm of psychology and performance has profound implications. It suggests that our societal emphasis on results and outcomes might be misguided. Instead, by focusing on the process and detaching from the outcome, we may unlock higher levels of creativity, productivity, and satisfaction. In conclusion, the science of stop caring and results come presents a compelling case for reevaluating our approach to work and life. It challenges the conventional wisdom of goal obsession, proposing instead a path of engagement, intrinsic motivation, and detachment from outcomes. This path, as the scientists discovered, leads not only to better results, but also to a more fulfilling and less stressful way of living.